everyone! Today we're checking the construction of syncopated rhythms. Also, we'll take a look at other useful techniques when working with the Berserkr. Let's talk a little bit about the basics of building a syncopated rhythm. We need to break your even amount of steps with uneven accents. The easiest way to do so is by separating accents with gaps of silence. For this example, I'm using the 2-3-2-3-1 gap formula. Here are a few more examples of such gap formulas for you to experiment with. You can easily rearrange or combine those formulas for different flavors, use the horizontal flip function to set the gap's order backwards, and shift sequences by whole steps or step subdivisions while holding the control key for even more new formulas. Switching to our previous example, it's time to create ricochet steps, grace notes, and breaking notes, as those will add extra flavor to the sequence. Now we can create an ostinato pattern by switching the velocity dynamic to active mode and utilizing the mod wheel. This way we'll be able to create moving performances in real time. For our next example, I'll keep using the classic cello patch. First, let's activate the velocity sequence, turn on the key sequence mode, and set the same key for all steps. For that, we'll hold the shift, click on the area under the step, and hit the desired key. You can divide each steps up to 8 sub-steps with modifier keys such as Shift to edit through 4 steps, Ctrl for editing through 2 steps, and Alt to divide each step of the sequence. For easier editing and precise control, we'll reduce the number of steps and listen to our basic rhythm. Let's open the Layers tab and set doubling accents to create a simple syncopated pattern using additional layers. Also, we can create accents by using the Filter tab. Open the filter for accented steps and close for others. For a more precise results, we can adjust the filter sensitivity slider. You can achieve similar results by using the Velocity tab only. Set necessary values for your accents and hit the Smooth button. Now, empty substeps will be filled with velocity events. Let's increase the amount of steps. In the Layers tab, we can apply the doubling by clicking on the Arrange button. We can automatically switch to the tripling instead by holding the Alt key while clicking on the Arrange button. Threshold setting allows you to set specific velocity values. All events above the threshold value will use doubling or tripling. Additionally, we can adjust all layering settings by clicking on the gear icon. The Pitch tab will allow us to make slight pitch changes or completely transform the melody. For this example, we will use the semitones mode. Let's get back to the Filter tab. Here, we can choose the specific type of filter from a huge array of different models. In this case, we will use the High Pass filter to get rid of the low-frequency content on those steps, which will be occupied by other massive sounds like kicks, snares, or impacts. By utilizing the Passive Dynamics mode and the Alt key to edit each whole step at the same time, we can further tame some of the unnecessary accents. Now let's copy our pattern to the rest of the steps. Using the velocity curve allows us to reshape velocities and control the dynamic range. The velocity curve menu allows you to choose between 4 different velocity curves: linear, S-shaped, brick wall, and scale. The impact of this function will be shown with a grayed out animation of velocities. And when we're happy with the result, we can hit the Apply button to apply those settings to our sequence. Each of these curves will affect the sequence differently. For this example, we will use the classic linear curve. Also, we can add movement using the filter on the main page. Let's keep it at the velocity mode and set the cutoff to 300 Hz. This way, the filter will gradually close on the lower velocity values but will open with the higher values. Let's make final adjustments to the rhythm to make it sound less busy. Now we want to make our sound thicker by adding a few more patches and loading the same pattern. By pressing Alt+Save, we can save the settings of the selected patch and apply them to the new ones. Presets can be loaded through the additional KSP mode using Alt+Save Random Rhythm. After copying the settings, you can make some adjustments for the new patches. Change the keys, adjust the panorama, and tweak the dynamic. You can manually adjust resulting rhythms while keeping the basic idea of the original rhythm. After copying the rhythm, turn off the retrigger function, switch to key sequence mode, and activate the velocity sequence. After that, we can emphasize the rhythms of our tonal patches with additional percussive elements for more prominent transients. To copy the rhythm to the adjacent patch, we'll use the Get MIDI function. It will create a copy of your velocity sequence that you can drag onto other patches. After copying the rhythm, turn off the retrigger function, switch to key sequence mode, and activate the velocity sequence. Adjust the dynamics using the velocity curve. Let's hear the result.